Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to be showing you how to send a shipment directly from your supplier straight to an Amazon FBA warehouse without ever having to touch the shipment. That's going to be a good one, so stick around. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're new, but without further ado, let's jump right into it. So we're going to move over into my computer here. I just really wanted to create this tutorial in celebration of the fact that you can send inventory in Amazon, period. New seller, old seller, doesn't matter. That was taken away from us and we really took it for granted. So I'm gonna be showing you how to create a shipment today. We're right here in the computer. You're gonna be looking over my shoulder the whole time. So let's go ahead and take a product. And the first thing you're gonna do is select your product. We're here in inventory on Amazon Seller Central. Then once you select a product, you'll notice that this lights up right here. So you can select on action on one selected, and then we're gonna go to send/replenish inventory. Okay, now once we're on this screen, it might look a little bit different for you, but we're gonna go over that, it's no worries. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go create a new shipping plan. And then your ship from address, of course, will be whatever your supplier's address is. So simply ask for your supplier's address. And if you're having a hard time figuring out what is what, you can simply ask them for their district, their city, and their province separately. Say, can you label those please for me so I know how to enter it into my Amazon Seller Central account correctly? They'll definitely have no issue doing that for you. So once you've entered your address, again, it's gonna be different for you. So you're simply gonna select whatever your supplier's address is. And of course, the title or the name of that company will be different as well. You'll put the name of whatever your supplier's company is. Then over here, this is really easy to confuse, but very simple once you understand it. So individual products means you have multiple SKUs or multiple different products in one box. You can see here we have green, blue, red, and purple. Those are just representative of different products that are not related to each other all in one box. Now that's more like if you were to send in a shipment of arbitrage. I do have a video like that on my channel, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because that video is geared towards arbitrage, and I just realized I haven't actually done this for private label, which is what a lot of you are going to be interested in doing. So simple thing, if it's arbitrage, it's individual products. If it's private label, it's case packed. It's always how it's going to be. If you're sending in one shipment of products and it's just those products, it's going to be case packed. So that's what you're going to go ahead and select. You're going to unselect, yes, I want to ship freight with Amazon. It's ridiculous expensive. Do not do that. And then we're going to go continue to shipping plan. Now, what we're going to do here is we have to enter a units per case in a number of cases. Very simple. Okay. So they're recommending a 720. That's just based on current sales velocity and things like that. That you don't have to take that too seriously. We'll go ahead and we'll enter our first units per case here. Let's say we have 10 units per case. And we're going to send in 100 cases, so a total of 1,000 units. And of course, if you were going to do this, you would simply select however many units per case you have and however many number of cases you have. Most of the information required to create a shipping plan is all going to come from your supplier. So make sure before you do this yourself, you ask them for the carton information, the weight, the dimensions, how many units per case, all of that, because you're going to need all of it. So we're going to hit continue here. Now, once we do this, we have to select if we need prep. So what we can do is we can do choose category. We're going to do no prep needed. Okay, we're going to do choose. And of course, if any of this applied to your product, you could select it. If you do, you're going to get charged 20 cents per unit, I believe, is at least at the time I'm filming this, to have Amazon prep your product. I think that's what the fee is. I never do it. Okay, you can see prep services for a fee here. I've never had Amazon prep my inventory, no prep needed. Okay, so we're gonna hit continue. You can see the prep cost is 0. That's how we want it, so we're gonna hit continue. Then we're gonna come into here, okay? And then this is the next step where they're gonna ask you to print your item labels. Ideally, you should already have these printed. You could do that by going to inventory, selecting the product, and then do print item labels. If you need these, and for some reason you haven't had them on your product yet, you could do print item labels here, and that'll simply pull up your product Amazon barcode. We're gonna do merchant labels, okay? Amazon will label, but again, it'll be for a fee. We wanna do this 0 cost to Amazon. We don't need to pay them anymore. We can do all of this with our supplier. Okay, so we're gonna do merchant here. Number of labels to print, we don't need to print 1,000, so we're not gonna print labels for this because we're assuming that they're already printed and already labeled. So we're gonna hit continue, okay? Now, if you'll notice this up here, placement says no fee. And the reason for that is because in my settings, if you have a new account, they might have set it up so you have placement fees. You can simply go to your Fulfillment by Amazon shipping settings, deselect the one where it's going to automatically distribute your inventory for you and charge you, okay? Because we could simply send to 3 different locations. In some cases, it'll actually all just go to one warehouse anyway. So you'll avoid the fee and they'll distribute it for you. So it just works out that way sometimes. But if you don't, the way that it'll usually get sorted is you'll have an East Coast, a Central, and a West Coast location to ship to, just to kind of do some of the distributions for yourself already. So in this case, you can see we're creating 3 different shipments, 320, 350, 330. One's going to California, one's going to Georgia, and one's going to Pennsylvania. All we have to do here, if you would like to, you could name these. The only thing that I will do is I'll put the name of the product. So you can do like, macrame shelf there. And I'm just doing that as an example for one. And maybe the number of units, right? 320 units. This one's going to Cali. You could write that in there. That's just for your own internal sake. If you want to do that, you don't have to. Okay. Then we're going to move along. We're going to hit approve and continue. Okay, fantastic. You can see it splits it up into 3 different shipments. Now what you have to do is you have to go to work on shipment, okay? So once you come in here, you're gonna select the carrier that your forwarder or your supplier's forwarder is gonna be making the final delivery with, right? So usually it's UPS in my case. So I would keep it on the, United Parcel Service, okay? So that's UPS. If you had DHL, you would obviously select that, or FedEx, you would select FedEx. Okay, so we're just selecting who is delivering the product once it arrives in the United States. Very simple. Now we're gonna come down. How will this shipment be packed? Please select an option. We're gonna do multiple boxes, of course. If we had 1,000 units in one box, that would not look too good. That'd be the biggest box in the world. Okay, so units per configuration. So this is now simply asking how many units per carton, just asking it in a different way. So we said 10 before. And then the number of boxes for this case, there's 350. So there would be 35 boxes in this shipment, right? That's our total quantity of 350. Your quantity there needs to match your shipment quantity or else you'll get an error. Box weight, you're gonna fill this in from your supplier. I'm gonna put a number that I'm making up on the spot. I think this is something like, it has to be under 50 pounds. I think it's like 48 pounds. Your box dimensions, I'm gonna do that here. 24, it's like 21, something like this. It's like trying to do it off of memory here, but you'll be using your real information. So this is the information you'd want to get from your supplier. Your box weight, now again, that's for one single shipment carton, right? So there's actually going to be 35 of these 48-pound boxes in this scenario, okay, just for this one shipment. Now we would hit confirm on that. Okay, so right here, moving on to the next section, this is where you're going to get your labels to send to your supplier. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to select print box labels, and then it's automatically going to give you a file with 35 different labels all on their own pieces of paper. Okay, so you don't have to print that. You don't have to ship that to your supplier or anything. All you're gonna be doing is you're going to be taking that, downloading it, and then messaging that to your supplier and saying, here's the box labels for the 350 units going to California. Please label those cartons accordingly. I always like to specify in case they get a mix up with what to label. Now, once we've done that, that is actually the last step, and we could hit complete shipment right here. So once we hit complete shipment, it'll bring us to an area where we can add all our tracking numbers. And then once your shipment ships, make sure you hit mark as shipped, because that'll let Amazon know that they have inbound inventory, and it'll also show on your inventory tab how many you have inbound. Okay, so don't forget to hit mark as shipped once it actually ships. Okay, then if we go to work on another shipment, it'll actually bring us back to this page, and we can see there's only 2 left to work on. This one now says track shipment. So we would go do that same exact process again, right? We would click into this next listing. Now, if you only had 350 units and it was only going to one location, you'd be done. Okay, this is only if it's splitting it up into 3 different locations. Okay, we would select our UPS. We would do multiple boxes. We would do 10 units. Then we would do 33, not 331. 33 boxes, that's 330 units. That's the shipment quantity for this one. We would do box weight. It should all be the same, right? So I did something like this. And then we would move down here. We would hit confirm. And then next we would do print box labels. Then we would take that file, send that file to our supplier, say, here's the labels for the shipping cartons that need to go outside of each one of these boxes for the shipment going to, what is this one? Georgia. Pennsylvania is one of the other ones, okay? In that case, then you would hit complete shipment and you'd go work on your last one. So that's how you send inventory from a supplier straight to Amazon. Once this is done, you're just waiting, okay? Amazon's gonna do all the rest of the work. So it's really not too complicated. I wanted to take something that a lot of people have a fear over, logistics. It's a nightmare for a lot of people to think about this. We just walked through this in, 12 minutes, right? Not too bad. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be seeing you here tomorrow on the channel for another video. Thanks so much. Later.